On now to some sports news, starting with a look ahead to the Euro 2020 showdown between France and Iceland in Reykjavik.
Depleted France are in Iceland for tonight's Euro 2020 qualifier. France are second in Group H ahead of the game with a home qualifier to come against Turkey and are well on course to secure qualification by finishing in the top two. The world champions have travelled to Iceland without injured captain Hugo Lloris, midfielder Paul Pogba and star forward Kylian Mbappe. France took apart Iceland 4-0 when the countries met at the Stade de France back in March. Belgium became the first country to qualify for Euro 2020 following their 9-0 demolition of San Marino. Romelu Lukaku scored twice to become the first Belgian to score 50 international goals. Russia are set to join them after thrashing Scotland 4-0, while Lyon's Memphis Depay starred in a 3-0 victory for the Dutch against Northern Ireland. Typhoon Hagibis has caused havoc with the Rugby World Cup. Le Crunch between France and England has been called off with the result going down as a 0-0 draw, meaning England topped the pool and France finished second, joining England in the quarter-finals. Fans with tickets for the cancelled games in Japan will be refunded.
Look, of course everyone's disappointed. We wanted to play against France. We put a lot of work, physical work, emotional work, tactical work into it, and we're disappointed. But the situation is a situation that we don't control. I think World Rugby's made a decision. We've got no issue with it, and we're just getting on with it now. Yeah, I've just been walking around the streets, and there's a lot of people with disappointed faces, and it's difficult for them because it was obviously going to be a special occasion, and we feel for them.
Italy are furious their match against New Zealand has been cancelled. Scotland are sweating as to whether their match against Japan will go ahead on Sunday. Asvel beat Panathinaikos in a EuroLeague basketball thriller. The French club bounced back from a 13-point deficit in the final quarter to win out by a point and make it 2 wins from 2 at the start of their first EuroLeague season in a decade. Jordan Taylor scored a free throw for Asvel with under 15 seconds left to play. Nick Calathes missed the shot to win it for Panathinaikos, and Asvel could celebrate a memorable 79-78 victory. Roger Federer was pushed hard by David Goffin in Shanghai, but the veteran Swiss still came through in straight sets in order to reach his 87th Masters 1000 quarter-final. Federer had to save 5 set points in the first before taking it on the tie-break by 9 points to 7. The second set followed 6-4, Goffin putting up a bigger fight than at the US Open. Alexander Zverev of Germany is Federer's next opponent. 4-time Shanghai champion Novak Djokovic is also through to the quarters. The Serb saw off John Isner in straight sets. The top seed hasn't dropped a set in the 7 matches he's played since injury forced him out of the US Open. Djokovic didn't even face a break point here against the giant American 16th seed. 7-5, 6-3 to Djokovic, who served really well throughout. Next in his way is Greek star Stefanos Tsitsipas. Kristina Mladenovic of France recovered from a set down to beat 4th seed Donna Vekic and reached the quarterfinals in Linz. Vekic had enjoyed straight sets wins in the players' 2 previous tour meetings this year, but after dropping the first set 6-3, Mladenovic stormed back, breaking the Vekic serve 4 times across sets 2 and 3 as she took them 6-1 and 6-2. Next she faces Ekaterina Alexandrova. There was disappointment, though, for Mladenovic's fellow Frenchwoman, Alizé Cornet, who was forced to abandon her second-round match against Jelena Ostapenko of Latvia. Ostapenko was 7-5, 4-1 up when Cornet threw in the towel, visibly struggling with her movement. The injury is bad news for Cornet and France a month ahead of the Fed Cup final that pits the French against Australia. Tour de France champion Egan Bernal was the beneficiary of a superb ride by his team Ineos as the Colombian won the revamped Gran Piemonte. Now a true climbers race suiting Bernal, it played into the hands of Team Ineos, who gave their leader a perfect lead out up the final near 12-kilometre climb. Bernal powered clear in the last 2 kilometres as teammate Ivan Sosa held on for second. This was Bernal's first win in Italy, in the region where he lived for 2 years. Tapio Pulkkanen of Finland leads the Italian Open by a shot following a 7-under par 64 in the opening round in Rome. While home favourite Francesco Molinari is 7 shots off the lead, Slovakian Rory Sabatini is out on his own in second on 6 under. Britain's Justin Rose is in a share of third place, the world number 5 handily placed heading into day 2.
OK, I'm back with you after this short break. Do stay with us here on France 24. Our world news coverage continues in just a few moments' time.